All right, party people in the place to be. Let's get working out. Why don't we do a standing warm up? Breath focused, of course. Begin with your feet parallel, hip width apart, and let's just settle into that for a sec. Just rock your body weight side to side a little bit, shifting from one foot to the other. And then settle into where your body weight feels even between the 2 feet. Now try that shifting forward and back a little bit and feel how your body reacts to that shift. Like I always feel like I'm kind of getting whipped where my upper body ends up swaying quite a bit when I move my ankles a little. So then you're going to go from that kind of whip feeling, gradually make it smaller, settling your weight over your heels. And when you feel like you're aligned over your feet, root down into them and just elongate the entire body growing towards the ceiling. Now let's tune into what we bring to the workout with your breath. So you're going to put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, and let's just see where that air is going. Inhale through your nose and feel the breath expanding your rib cage under your top hand, expanding your abdomen under your bottom hand. And then as you exhale, feel the compression of your abdominal muscles to help you push the air out and the chest sinking. As you breathe in, take that breath in slowly through your nose, and as the lungs fill with the air, the abdominal cavity has to change. The pressure changes there for the diaphragm to drop. So then when we compress the deep abdominals, it helps push the diaphragm back up. Let's do it one more time. Yes, those flat abs are not just for our vanity, they're to help you breathe better. And exhale again. All right, now arms hanging by your sides. Let's add a little movement to that. So now we'll flex and extend. I'm going to have you inhale one more time. As you exhale, drop your chin, round forward, and let your knees bend a little. Let your arms kind of be floppy, like you just deflated. As you inhale, press down into your heels, fill up with the air to rise back up, turn your palms out and lift your chest and chin. Now exhale, let your palms turn back in, curl forward, deflate, get soggy, get saggy. Inhale all the way back up. Lift your chest like you're real proud as you look up at the ceiling. One more time like that. Exhale, curl forward. Let your shoulders round forward to allow the arms to hang. And then inhale, come back up. Open your chest, lift your heart, lift your chin. And come back to neutral. Bring your hands behind your head. Put a little bit of a bend in your knees, just a couple inches. Make sure your weight's still on your heels and that you feel pretty neutral and vertical. Sit bones down, crown of the head reaching up to the ceiling. Now let's do a little side bend. So I'm going to have you bring your elbow towards the same side hip when you exhale, and then inhale, come back to the center. Side bend, and then back to the center. So right now I'm trying to isolate just my upper body, putting the stretch either into the shoulder or the waist area. And I want you to keep doing that with your upper body, but now bring your hip to that side. So I'm doing, I don't know if you want to call that a hip hike or a hip sway. Probably depends on how that feels in your body. Okay, so you got the motion. I'm just going to turn on so you can see it from the back. What I'm trying to create is a lift and a lift. So just keep doing a few more with me. So I'm going up and over, up and over. I felt like from the front, sorry to make you look at my back, one more to each side. I just feel like from the front, it just looked like I look like a typewriter. I don't know. Maybe that's me. I hope your form is better than mine. It's like dangerous to be able to see myself as I'm teaching exercise. Okay, let's move this party down a little bit lower to a cat stretch. All right. So now you're kneeling on your hands and knees, and I want you to take a second to just assess where your body weight is again. So the way we kind of shifted around, let's do that in quadruped. Spread apart your fingers. Make sure your legs are about as wide as your hips. And I want you to make a circular weight shift. It doesn't have to be too big, but just transfer the load of your body hand to hand, a knee to knee. Maybe go the other way if you haven't thought to switch already. Keep it within a range that your back stays pretty neutral and you're just kind of feeling the movement around all the limbs. Okay, come back to center. So by bringing attention into that feature, you're going to have more sensory feedback through your arms and legs as we go into this cat stretch. Brace away from the floor while still neutral. I want you to feel like you're kind of pushing into the back of your body. You'll feel your ribs against your shoulder blades. You'll feel your two SI joints literally just pressing into the skin behind them. And now I want you to take an inhale, focusing on elongating, making your head and your sit bones reach away from each other. Then when you exhale, start to tuck your tailbone under, flex your spine, spread your shoulder blades apart, and hang your head. Stay there and take an inhale into the back of the body. When you exhale, stick out your tailbone, lengthen your spine so you're visiting neutral, then keep lifting your tailbone, your chest and chin so you're in a slight extension. Inhale there. Exhale, tuck your tail under, scoop the abs up, round the spine and let the head hang to look at the knees. Hold there for an inhale, keep bracing away from the floor. Exhale, stick out the tailbone. Stay connected with the abs as we're rolling out of that flexion, lifting into extension because it's still like a sling of support even in this position. One more time, breathe in. Exhale, tuck the tail under, draw the abs in, hang the head down to look at your legs. Stay there for one more breath in, and then roll it back out. Tail to head, gliding down the shoulder blades, lifting your chest and chin. All right, little thread the needle, of course. I like to put those two together. Let's do 3 pulses to each side, alternating sides. Take an inhale to prepare. When you exhale, you're going to shift your weight back. I'm going to turn away from you. Do a thread the needle with the arm for 3. Take it a little deeper, 2. Deeper for 1. What does deeper mean? More twist and more shift back. Exhale, shifting back lets you go deeper into the twist so that shoulder can fall as you're reaching through. 3. And back to the center. If you can bring your attention to your sit bones specifically as you think of the pelvis, if you can direct them to go back and up, it gives you that angle that lets your chest really drop. 3. And back to center. 1 more each side. And 3. Deeper for 2. Make sure you're looking at that hand that's gliding through. Last time. We always want the head and the neck to follow the rotation you make with your spine. And 3. Back to the center. All right. Let's do something a little more funny, fun, hard, I guess. I don't know. We're going to do a little weight shifting. I'm going to take you through them in a knee hover, but it's the weight shift. So you already did it as a circle with your knees down. If you don't want to go into hover, stay knee down. Okay, and if your fingers aren't spread really wide, really spread your fingers wide. Okay, if you're going to do the knee hovering shift, toes curled under your feet like so. Send the load into your arms a little bit more, and then pick your knees up to hover. All right. Back stays neutral. Now, on your inhale, I want you to shift back towards your heels. Exhale, shift forward towards your hands. Inhale back. Exhale forward. 3 more times and forward. Inhale. Keep pushing away from the floor as you shift into the hands. Come forward again. Drop your knees. Take a weight shift back. We're going to do a second set. Now, you can repeat whichever version you just did for 5 more reps. Or if you want to take it a little farther, we're going to try going to a full plank. So now I have to, if I'm doing that, I have to come a little bit out of quadruped where my legs are too far back. Because we're going to throw that load into your arms, I want you to go there first, okay? So you're going to shift forward into your hands, pick your knees up into hover. Now, inhale, shift back, exhale forward to that full plank. Inhale, shift back, and then forward. Now this starts to feel like crouch, pounce, crouch, pounce. 1 more time. Shift back and forward. Drop your knees. Shift your weight back. Don't you love it when we just go wrist heavy right away in a workout? It's amazing. All right, let's go down onto your back for a set of toe taps. Home sweet home. All right, why don't we go arms up to the ceiling, palms facing each other, and definitely an open palm with a neutral wrist to fix what we just did. Before we go into the toe taps, let's do a round of 3 small rocks between neutral and imprint. When you're neutral, start with a little curve present under your low back. Take a breath in as you hold that position. When you exhale, tilt your pelvis so your low back gets just a little flatter towards the mat. And then when you breathe in, rock back to neutral and allow the curve into the lower spine. When you exhale, we're approximating the hip bones closer to the ribs, so you will feel your abdominals shorten and your low back actually soften and relax into flexion. Inhale, roll back to neutral. Exhale, keeping it small, so you're just using your obliques. Check out your glutes, they should stay relaxed for this. Inhale, rock back to neutral. Now I want you to make that imprint and hold it. So this time, just go 3/4 of the distance. I suggest that because you'll work harder and you'll sense your abs more. Now try to hold that imprint. Inhale and take one leg into tabletop. When you exhale, start the breath to deepen the support at the abdominal wall and bring up your second leg. That's our start pose. Take another breath in. As you exhale, lower one foot and tap your toes on the mat. Work to hold your imprint. Inhale as your legs lift up. Always start the breath before the movement as you're learning how to create that stability. So when I begin that compression, I'm holding the torso still with my deepest layer of the abs. Inhale up. But that muscle really, it's meant to compress like three-dimensionally around the torso, and its position doesn't give you enough stability. So when you think about holding an imprint, that's really the job of your obliques. In the beginning of the workout, I joked about flat abs, so that's your transverse abdominal, but your oblique abdominals are like suspenders that determine and maintain the distance between your ribs and hips. So every time you exhale, try to feel that force, that little elastic energy. Do you think I'm ever going to let you stop? I'm going to let you stop right now. One leg down and then the other. That was like a half-hour rant about one exercise. Yeah. I always like in my head, I'm listing the like pluses and minuses of a virtual class versus a live class. And it's like virtual, I get to work out. But the downside is I just start rambling and I have like no consciousness of the other human that might be doing this workout with me. All right, so now that your feet are back down, let's go back to a neutral pelvis. I want your hands behind your head. Angle your elbows up slightly. We're going to do a few rounds of the ab prep so we can just focus on the flexion. Now, this is about your obliques too, so we can continue our suspender conversation. Let's get the movement going though first. As you inhale, you're going to begin the motion by very slightly tipping the chin down, just like you were nodding to say yes. Then as you exhale, curl your head and shoulders off the mat so you're gazing at your thighs. Hold your lift, and as you inhale, see if you can channel the breath into the sides of your rib cage. Then when you exhale, find that deep compression at the abdominals, and then lower back down. Inhale, tip your chin down. So now imagine these obliques again. As you exhale, the force of your breath slides your ribs down, and as you curl your head and shoulders up, the obliques shorten to bring the ribs to the hips. Now stay for an inhale, and they're challenged to just keep that contraction isometrically. And then when you exhale, they're working as they get longer to control you coming down without crashing. Pretty amazing. Inhale, nod your chin. Exhale, curl up. Hold there, take a breath in, make sure your head is relaxed back into your hands, and then exhale, lower. Let's do two more of those slow, thoughtful ones. Oh boy. Nod your chin, curl up your head and shoulders, slide down your shoulder blades as you flex. Now stay there for the breath in, and then exhale, lift your pelvic floor, compress your abs, lower back down. One more time. Inhale, tip your chin down slightly, and then exhale, curl up. Feel how the breath helps to bring you there. One more inhale to hold, and then exhale all the way back down. All right, let's change the vibe of this. Let's do some pulses. We're going to do 3 sets of 6 pulses. And now that it's moving faster, let's see if you can still get those sensations with the speed. Inhale. Now exhale, nod your chin, curl up into, let's say the peak of the lift where you're right at the bottom tip of the shoulder blades. Now inhale, rock back just a little, and exhale, lift. Back 2, and lift. 3, keep powering this through the breath. Every exhale lifts you up. We got one more. Hold at the top and take it inhale. Exhale, come all the way down. All right, if I could bring your attention to a new place, pelvis. Here we go. Nod your chin, curl up, and before you start pulsing, I want you to pause. Are you neutral? If you have gone into imprint, push it back. Drop your pubic bone. Now let's rock it. Inhale back a little. Exhale up. I didn't mean that to sound as corny as it was. And 3, lift. 4, lift. 5, lift. 6, lift and hold. Stay there to breathe in. Exhale, come all the way down. Last round. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, nod your chin, flex forward. Keep looking at the legs. Now rock it back for 1, lift. 2, lift. Inhale, exhale. Last 2 and 1. Hold it at the top. Breathe in. Exhale, take it all the way back down. All right, onto your stomach for your balancer, using your upper back muscles in the opposite direction. All right, W shape with the arms. Legs are parallel, and they can be together or slightly separated. Now you're going to inhale, and you're going to lift your head and your chest, pressing into your forearms. And I want you to stop before your last ribs lifted off the mat, and before you have to lift your forearms. Then when you exhale, you're going to lower all the way back down. All right, I hope you took extra breaths because I I just keep mumbling my words. Inhale, reach your head away from your shoulders, press yourself away from the floor, and rise up into that upper back extension. Now exhale, compress your abs, sink back down. All right, if this feels like nothing to you, you're not doing it right. Let's think about what we can do. So I want you to make a traction before you lift up. Forearms are on the ground, right? So instead of just pressing straight down into them, press and pull the elbows towards your feet. And as soon as you make that sensation, you'll feel like you're pulling your torso forward in space. That will serve you, okay? So let's get that anchored. And now as you start to lift your head, start with your eyes. Gaze towards the end of the mat so you can feel your chest now going forward and up because of the bracing we did with the forearms. And then lower yourself back down like a rolling pin's running up your body, laying you out flat. So that traction you made should give you a little more sensation. One more. Pull those shoulders down, anchor those elbows. Now lift forward and up using your breath to create that expansion, and then exhale to come back down. Okay, so I wanted you to sense how you're creating that work through your upper back and your shoulder blades. Let's do the full breaststroke where your arms are off the mat. We got a little more work there. Inhale to prepare. When you exhale, you're going to stay low hover and send your arms overhead. So you have that load of the arms first. On the inhale, circle the arms while you lift your head and chest till you're at that bottom rib. Now, just like you're swimming, bend your elbows, slide them up your body, reach through to that superhero. Now pretend you have water and you're pushing it back. So I want you to imagine the hands. Use slicing hands to come down. Now make paddles. Push back with your palms as you circle. Exhale, dive down low. Get your abs to connect. Now inhale, use your breath to help lift you up. 3 more. Exhale, dive down low. Let your ribs knit together. Inhale, feel that big expansion lift you. And exhale, dive it down low. Inhale, circle back. 1 more. Exhale, down to that superhero. And then 1 more. Nice big lift. And then come all the way back down again. All right, from here, sit back in a shell stretch, hips onto your heels, rounded spine. Stay here. Let's take a nice big breath in to the back and the sides of your body. Hold here for an exhale. Create a little more a little more flexion. Why do I talk? 1 more breath in. Roll back up. I'm telling you, y'all never write anything in the comments. You should really consider writing, hey, you might as well pantomime class because what you say is gobbledygook. Open your legs so your feet are about as wide as the mat. You want your knees bent, and it's okay if you can't get your feet flat for what we're going to do. You'll be fine. What we're going to do is half roll back with a little port de bras-ish kind of something at the top. All right, arms reaching forward at chest height. Let's just do a few half roll backs before we add the other stuff. As you exhale, I want you to curl your pelvis back. And as you roll backwards, your lower spine is going to flex down towards the mat. And then as you inhale, I want you to rock your pelvis forward till you're back on your sit bones. So we're powering it from here. Therefore, it's the abs going first, then your glutes to help tuck you further. And then as you roll back up, you're going to feel that support of the upper back muscles we just used to get you back to your good posture. Roll back. Boy, am I sucking the fun out of this one too. And then up. No, it's going to be worth it because now we're going to change it. All right. Let all those technical details go and have a little more fun. This time, roll back. When you come up, we're going to turn, and I'm going to turn away from you. You're going to let your legs flop to the side, and we're going to swing the arm around into a rotation. Come back to the middle, roll back again. Let's come back up to vertical, let your knees flop to the other side, pretend you're throwing something, and then back to the middle. Roll back. Rock forward, twist and throw, and then back to the center. So I want to give this a little momentum, not fast like out of control, but the arms really are just doing that gesture. Hopefully you're feeling it's your hips I want to stretch through this. So like in this case, when I'm turned, I'm getting a nice glute stretch on the bottom side, and I'm improving the mobility of my hips, period, on the other leg. That little rocking in, that folding in of the knee is something most of us need. 1 more to each side. And up and over. Last time. Through the middle. Up and throw. And then back to the center. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Right back down onto your back. 1 leg circle. Since we've been talking about the obliques so much, they are here and very important as well. Now they are going to work isometrically to help you stabilize your torso while we circle the legs. So you can still imagine them like suspenders, a little elastic to allow you to breathe, but always working to keep your pants up, arms by your sides. Take one leg into tabletop, leave your other foot on the floor. Before we go any further, give just a little pressure into the big toe of that floor foot. You'll feel your inner thigh a little. That's the line I want you to stabilize from. Now, the leg that's in the air, you can keep your knee bent if you're very tight in the low back or in the back of your leg. And if you have more flexibility, you can work with your leg straight up to the ceiling. Most of us are going to kind of land somewhere between those 2 points. Okay, so there's mine. On your inhale, draw a circle on the ceiling, coming across the middle of your body, down away from your head, and then exhale as you circle out to the side and up to the ceiling. So you want to breathe in for like the first third of the circle and exhale for 2/3 to get more connected with the feeling of the abs. Inhale across and down, exhale, circle and lift to the top. 2 more times, breathe in and circle and lift. Last one like that. Inhale across and down, and circle and lift to the top. Reverse the direction. Now as the leg falls out and down, really watch that opposite hip. Exhale around the middle and up. Breathe in to the back of the rib cage and exhale, circle and lift. If you can find that breath in the back, you can maintain a little more tone in the abs to give you that support. And exhale around and up. Last time, breathe in, circle and lift to the top. Bend the knee you just used, slide it out straight on the mat, and just kind of rocket it in and out a little bit. You want to make sure those hip flexors let go before we're done. Okay, that becomes your stabilizing foot. Other leg, start it in tabletop because that's the best place you can assess if you're neutral or rotated in your hips. And then extend it into its or your working position. However you want to think of that leg as yours or a separate entity. On your inhale, leg goes across the middle, down away from your head. Exhale out to the side and up to the ceiling. If you know me in real life, that sentence I just said just sent me into a real tangle. Am I an object? Am I a verb? Am I a living process? I mean, we're in the heart of my thesis right there. One more time. Inhale, across and down. Exhale, circle, and lift to the top. That might be the title of my thesis. Am I my leg circling? Other direction. Inhale, out to the side, down away from your head. Exhale through the middle and up to the ceiling. Breathe in, let the leg fall out and down. Exhale, around and up. How's your inner thigh doing? Give a little more pressure into the floor. Circle and lift. Just 2 more times. Inhale and exhale around and up. Last one like this. Inhale out and down. Circle and lift to the top. All right, release that leg down or rock it in and out. Okay, I want to do a roll up. Therefore, you must do a roll up. Go back to just neutral alignment in your spine. If you feel a lot of tension laying like this in your low back, if you just do like a quarter imprint, the tiniest bit to really connect with your abs, that should go away. Now reach your arms up to the ceiling. And then take an exhale breath and send your arms overhead about halfway towards the floor to challenge your ability to hold the ribs down every time we return. Now, inhale, arms up over your chest. On your exhale, you're going to nod your chin, round forward, and I want you to continue to flex your spine. We're going to curl forward higher than your feet, but just reaching in that direction. Now, when you breathe in, we're going to add something to it. You're going to lift your head and chest, circle your arms around to the back. So I just touch with my fingertips, lift into an extension. Then I'm going to round forward again as I exhale. On the inhale, start rolling back your hips to begin coming back down to the mat. Exhale, finish unraveling. After you lay your head down, reach your arms overhead. All right, take an inhale, arms up over your chest. Exhale, nod your chin, start to curl forward. Keep compressing those abs. Reach a little higher than your feet. Now, lift your head first. I want you to see your hands. Then they're going to circle away. You're going to look all the way up to the ceiling. As you exhale, flex forward again. Inhale, start to roll back your hips. And then exhale, reach those arms overhead. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, nod your chin. Curl forward, stretch towards your legs. So my gaze just walks right up the wall all the way to the ceiling. Now when I flex forward, that goes low to high, and my head's the last thing to finish dropping. Roll back, unravel. Inhale, arms up over your chest. Exhale, nod your chin, curl forward, abs scoop back as everything else reaches towards the wall. Inhale, gaze lifts, arms circle, look up at the ceiling, and exhale, flex forward again. Start to roll back your hips as you inhale, and exhale, return. All right, last time coming up, arms up first. Start to curl forward, scoop those abs in, reach towards the legs. Now lift your head and chest, circle the arms, look up at the sky, and then round forward again. We're not going to roll down, just want to give you that last stretch, and then come back up. Okay, Ike, I'm out of time already. Okay, what do I do with that fact? I know. We're going to finish up with side bend. Arg, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to arg. Okay. When we're doing a side bend, you're going to start with both of your legs in a turnout. Top leg, we're going to stick the heel right into the ankle of the bottom leg. And I'm going to have you line up your hands even with your feet because we're going to go into a full side bend. So let's test that out first. Give me a nice wide fingertip to the floor. Now, from this bottom shoulder, we're going to play our rib shift game. I want you to drop that shoulder and feel what happens to your ribs. When I push the shoulder down, the rib shift over. That is the first thing that happens in this exercise. And then we lift the hips. So let's do that. All right, you're going to take an inhale, drop the shoulder, shift the ribs, lift the hips, straighten the legs, and squeeze those inner thighs together. Now, as you exhale, bend your knees, allowing them to turn out as you control the return down. And again, inhale, shoulder drop, push your weight towards your feet as you lift up. That's the job of the arm. And then back down. Yes, it's holding you up, but it's pushing you away from your hand. One more this way. Inhale, shift, hips up, inner thighs squeeze. Your legs are so much stronger to hold you. Use that. And then come on back down. All right. We're going to play with half of the twist. On your inhale, you're going to lift up. I want you to pose me the same side bend, but now reach your arm up to the ceiling instead of overhead. Then you're going to rotate towards the floor. Weave your arm under to thread the needle and shift your weight back more towards your feet. Then as you inhale, come back to that side bend. 2 more times. Exhale, rotate, push the arm through, hips pike back, and inhale, unravel. 1 more time. Rotate, push the weight towards your feet. Unravel. Give me 1 more arm overhead so you get that nice last stretch. And then come on back down. All right, I like that. That's a good way to finish. Let's turn you around the other way. Remember, top foot into bottom foot. Hand even with feet. Other arm, palm up, fingers spread. All right, let's play with the side bend. So we got that shift. Now, start with the drop of the shoulder, lift of the hips, and side bend. And then come on back down. And if you're not successful, remember it might be space. If you have trouble side bending, you might need to step your feet out a little farther just to give you some more room. Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe you're just cramped up too much. 1 more time. Drop the shoulder, shift the hips, abs compressing for extra support, and lower back down. All right, you ready? Big 3 to finish. Here we go. You're going to go up into that side bend. Top arms reaching up to the ceiling, though. Now, rotate, thread the needle, pike those hips up, unravel, show me the side bend. And again, rotate, let your head drop, your weight goes towards your legs, and then more shifts into the arm. Here, 1 more time. Rotate, flex, come back, arm overhead. I'm slipping, that's why I'm giggling. And barely made it, but I made it. All right, we're all done. Fork is in me. All right, what the heck that was. Have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye. Oh, shoot, no, I'm not.